We're live and direct this evening with one of Pittsburgh's most exciting bands, Ames Harding and the Mirage, as we celebrate LovePGH Music Month here on WYEP. I'm Joey Spehar, and we'll get to know the band a bit more shortly, but first, would you start us off with a song?
Rain won't fall in desert so bad. Heed the call, let down your hair. Bone to bone, no coat to wear. You're a lonely solitaire. Dust cake thick upon your tongue, like the words you've never sung. Swinging slow from where they're hung. Can't remember when it begun. Rain won't fall in cluttered mind, wrapped with words of flesh and rhyme. But no wind those words can find. Without a voice, our fate is blind. Silent tongue and deafened ear, those that speak but never hear. Songs of rain and fertile tears will deliver us away from here. Rain won't fall on my skin, though I cry out to the wind. Change must come from within to ride the mess with. Rain won't fall on my skin, though I cry out to the wind. Change must come from within, 'cause I wanna stay alive. Rain won't fall in shifting sands that escape right through these hands. I can't sleep, I cannot stand with no roots to hold the land. But beneath these glittered waves, deep below these words I say, water sings of better days. So with these melodies I pray. Rain won't fall on my skin, though I cry out to the wind. Change must come from within to ride the mess with. Rain won't fall on my skin, though I cry out to the wind. Change must come from within, 'cause I wanna let it rain. Let it rain, my love. Let it rain. Let it rain, no, no. Let it freak me, baby, far from the fire. Keep your money, feed me desire. Hot and funny, speaking in tongues, words drip like honey. Sweet when they're sung, so cut the chatter. I will not abide by your petty patter. Look me in the eye, so when the raindrops shatter, gifts from above will plant our feet and grow from the mud. So cut the chatter. I will not abide by your petty patter. Look me in the eye, so when the raindrops shatter, gifts from above will plant our feet and grow from the mud.
Goodness gracious, what a song. I gotta say, it is hard to sit still while this band is playing. They're called Ames Harding and the Mirage. We're live and direct here on WYEP today as we celebrate Love Pittsburgh Music Month. Now, that's a pretty new song. It's called Rain Won't Fall, and I'd love it if you could tell me a bit more about that one. How did it come to be, and what's it mean to you?
So before I lived in Pittsburgh, I lived in the north of Chile, which is the driest region in the world. And so it started off with a very literal experience of Rain Won't Fall that was expanded to kind of talk about the creative droughts that you can go through as a creative or as a person in general, in a lot of different ways, in personal and romantic senses, and in a musical sense, when things aren't coming, when things aren't fitting together, how that feels.
For those of you who are just hearing this band for the first time, can you tell us a bit about this project and how it got started? Because obviously, being here today, you are a Pittsburgh band, but as you mentioned, you didn't grow up here, did you, Ames?
No, yeah, I was born in Guatemala and grew up in the U.S. as well as in Egypt and India, and the project started as a solo project, sort of weaving together the sonic landscapes that I was a part of growing up and starting to make sense of those with my interests as a musician as well. And we formed in 2021 through serendipity and thanks a little bit to WYEP. And here we are today in Pittsburgh.
Well, I'll never forget the first time that we were in touch. You had a song out called Peacock, and just the album art alone was enough to really draw me in. I mean, I was intrigued. I was like, I don't know what this could sound like, but I gotta know. And then we talked about it, and I was like, wow, this is a guy with something very interesting to say. So can you talk about the process of a song coming to life for you? Do you know what you're setting out to do, or do you find yourself surprised at where everything ends up?
I was thinking writing a song is kind of like being a hoarder. You like kind of accumulate musical ideas, little melodies and rhythms and stuff, as well as a lot of influence of stuff you listen to, that start off as just something you hummed into your phone and start building and building and building. I mean, this song, when I first started it, had a different title, it had a different feel. It was an entirely different song that somehow ended up here. And it's always surprising. And I think over the past couple of years, the most surprising thing has been writing these songs and then bringing this to this talented group of musicians who bring it alive in a way that I didn't even necessarily imagine, which is really fruitful.
Do you find yourself fighting it ever? You know, when, because I imagine people who write songs, I mean, these songs are very close to you, obviously. And then you see it taking shape in a different way. Do you ever find yourself fighting it, or do you just let it go and go where the muse takes you?
Yeah, I mean, I've never fought it per chance. I feel like I feel like sometimes you can't really understand where it's going, and a lot of songs will just end halfway through. You know, you'll write half of the song, or you'll get halfway there, and you just won't be able to find a path forward past that. And then maybe years later you do, and that's a lot of the start and stop of songwriting, is that it goes at its own pace regardless of what you're intending to do.
Well, we're live and direct here this evening with Ames Harding and the Mirage, and I would love if you guys would play a couple more songs and maybe tell us a little bit about the one you're about to play, Until Daylight.
Yeah, so this is a song that was really just focused on a direct and very sensual feeling, you know, of wanting to spend a night with someone, of wanting to pass into the daylight hours and through the night and into the daylight hours with someone, that I think we really embody here in a very sensual and beautiful way. So this is Until Daylight.
Just stay with me until daylight. No need to say nothing. Just sway with me until daylight. Until the daylight. Just stay with me until daylight. Only for one. Just sway with me until daylight. Sway like the fruit on the vine, like the fruit on the vine. Play out our dreams of desire, out our dreams of desire. Say all you need with your eyes, all you need with your eyes. Sway like the fruit on the vine, like the rhythm unto the daylight. Just stay with me until daylight. No need to say no. Just sway with me until daylight. Until the daylight. Just stay with me until daylight. Only for one night. Just sway with me until daylight. Daylight. Just stay with me until daylight. No need to say no. Just sway with me until daylight. Under the daylight. Just sway with me until daylight. Only for one night. Just sway with me until daylight. Lay my match upon the baseline, wet my lips upon its groove, feeling pretty in the way I always know just when to move. Jaded pearls upon my finger, pearly words upon my tongue. Speak 'em slow and let 'em linger, like the smoke from which is hung. Your perfume of velvet snare clears your way as you draw near. Gazing down, I do not dare, only knowing what I hear. Brush your gaze along my body while I move like liquid sand, hoping you will find me godly and approach me as I am. Lay it thick upon me, Lola, thinking heavy like the rain. Round and round I'm spinning, Lola, hoping you will come my way. I am pretty for you, Lola, painted silks upon my skin. Won't you let me get to know ya and just group them as well? Baby, dancing ancient patterns, drawn like veins while we spin. Retrograde, you are my Saturn, never can I pull you in. Flesh of gold and emerald spices, blush of crimson on my throat. Rivers and falls meant to entice you to discover what's below. Maybe you move a little closer. judge of my composure. I am just here to make you heard. While we whirl in mystic circles, connecting deep within our soul. You are the gold into my purple. I am a fragment of your whole. Glitter sequins in the moonlight. Pretty we wonder, never do right. I wear my heart just like my blue eyes, close to the fire. We drum the rhythm in the backseat, heavy breathing and a backbeat. Sticky and steamy, you can have me however you like. Woo! Lay it thick upon me, Lola. Thick and heavy like the rain. Round and round I'm spinning, Lola, hoping you will come my way. I am pretty for you, Lola. Painted silks upon my skin. Won't you let me get to know ya and just cool the mess we're in?
91.3 WYEP. We are live and direct today with the sultry Ames Harding and the Mirage. Just heard a great song called Peacock, and just before it, Until Daylight. And Ames, I got to know, does that song work for you? I mean, you set it up as like a plea for some loving in the nighttime, and I got to know. I mean, because I hear a song like that, I don't know that I could say no. You know what I mean? So I have an answer, Joe. Okay.
No. Yeah, I agree with that. Musicians are a lot more comfortable, I think, singing their hearts out into a microphone than directly at someone. I mean, it's still a new song. The jury's out.
Okay. Well, how about, I mean, we don't have to get too deep into it. I don't want to put you too far on the spot, but how about some love for your band right now? Can you introduce these guys?
Absolutely. So we have AJ Arnett on percussion. He usually plays a whole other range of stuff, but is really honing on the congas today. Mikey Diamond's on bass, and Eli Wheatman on drums. And they're really the best band anyone could have.
I gotta agree. I mean, you guys sound amazing. You sound very tight, of course, and well-rehearsed today, but I know you guys have been messing around a bit with true improvisation. Can you talk about pushing yourself into those uncomfortable places and how it may benefit you in the long run?
That's a good question. I mean, I think a lot of the other bandmates could speak better to this, but a lot of people here have a background in jazz and improvisation, but we're not a jazz band. And I think what's been really exciting is pushing us in the last couple of shows in June out of the comfort zone of your set list and your rehearsed songs and your 4-minute, 6-minute chunks that you know exactly how it's going to go, and see, oh, well, if Mike does something on bass, what am I going to do? And if I mess up, where do I go from there? And I mean, we had a really wonderful show at Defer where like 40% of our set list was just improvised. Just 100%. We had never played any of it before. Someone started with something. And I mean, it's really exciting to get out of that groove and to get out of the rut that is a necessity as a musician, because what comes out of it is just really spectacular and like existed for that moment and is not recorded, and it went, you know.
Yeah, it's more, you know, sometimes you're giving a speech, but that is more, I think, of a musical conversation with your guys here. It's always fun to watch. And speaking of fun to watch, I got a couple questions about the visual aspect of this band. First of all, that instrument that you're playing right now, can you tell us a bit about that? Because it looks like one of those old Hohner basses that Paul McCartney played, but it's not.
Yeah, so it's a 1960s Taisco. Taisco was a factory in Japan that produced guitars and then would give them to other companies that would plop their label on it and sell them. But they've become really sought after if you're a music nerd like me, because they have gold foil pickups from the 60s and because they're really well made. And this is, I've only ever found one of these on the internet besides this, so as far as I'm aware, this is kind of its own thing. But yeah, it gets a lot of looks. A lot of people think I'm playing a violin or a cello or something. People are pretty confused.
Yeah, it's a really good looking instrument, I gotta say. And I mentioned earlier, the album art for Peacock. One of the first things that drew me into your music. It was like a punch in the face. And then, if I remember correctly, you said that your dad used to do like inlays on high-end guitars, which I think is really cool too. So can you just talk about, in general, the marriage of sights and sounds with your music?
Yeah. So growing up for part of my childhood, my dad and his friends started a company that did the first CNC inlaid for places like Martin, PRS, a lot of these really beautiful, this doesn't have it, but like these things effectively. And so I grew up around all those shells and around that kind of artistic conversation between visual art and music, not only in inlaying, but in how you build a guitar and that sort of luthiery. And I love the visual aspect. I feel like looking at bands like the Gorillaz, who create this whole visual world that is accompanied by their music or that accompanies their music, I feel like really pushing both. I think we've all kind of pushed our style since we've started this band to try to more represent kind of parts of the sensuality and parts of our music that we really connect with. And I design all the album art and have also designed show visuals, and it's just really exciting to think about the visual world in which your art exists. We're also, AJ and I are designing merch as well, and so thinking about what kind of style encompasses our music is a really exciting question that we're still answering.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track. It seems to fit, for me anyway. So at the end of the day, whether we hear your music on our phones or catch a live performance, what do you hope that we, the audience, take away from that experience?
Ooh, that's a doozy.
No pressure.
Well, I think, especially in Pittsburgh, I would like us to serve as a bridge to world music, because a lot of what we're influenced by is Latin American music, West African music, and music from all over the globe that is in conversation with American music. And so I hope that our music serves as sort of a stepping stone to that, the wide world of world music that's a lot more richer and nuanced than I think a lot of people assume. And I hope people move. I hope they move their bodies. As you said at the beginning, I think more and more as we've gotten into this, and with the incredible percussion and how everything, all the different parts of the song fit together in a rhythmic way, I really, our if not dance to, I think our music is meant to move to and to really move you. And so that's our intention in playing live.
We're live and direct this evening with Ames Harding and the Mirage. We got time for one more song. It's up to you if you want to introduce this one or just launch right into it.
This last song is going to be our latest single, and it is called Tiger Balm.
Tiger Balm, let me sleep with thunder, keep me calm as we breathe in colors. Spread your legs, wild and fateful flower, bloom in the gloom, bloom in the gloom. Freaky girl, feed me sweet bananas, shut my eyes, lead me through Havana, serpent's tongue, laced with fragrant nectar, oh, temptation abounds, hypnotic, gracious and calm. But I find out when I seek out melodies I sow and reap of nectar sweet and honey sweeter from my lungs into the speakers. Tiger, I don't need you, I will follow my own lead down to the river as I seek her. As I find out when I sleep melodies I sow and reap of nectar sweet and the honey sweeter from my lungs into the speaker. Tiger, alone, helping hide my fear, keep me calm as the fates appear. Hide my face in your fragrant flower, bloom in the gloom, bloom in the gloom. Freaky boy, won't you be my baseline? Shut my eyes as we sip the daylight. Serpent's tongue tells two different stories. Oh, temptation abounds, hypnotic, gracious and mild. But I find out as I sleep up melodies I sow and reap of nectar sweet and honey sweeter from my lungs into the speakers. Tiger, I don't need ya, I will follow my only down to the river as I seek her. As I find out when I sleep up melodies I sow and reap of nectar sweet and honey sweeter from my lungs into the speaker. Tiger, I don't need ya, I will follow my only down to the river as I seek her.
.3 WYEP. It's Ames Harding and the Mirage. That one is as soothing as a jar of Tiger Balm, I gotta say. You nailed it. You do so well with the imagery and the music together. And if you like what you heard today, by all means, check out their music further. They're available wherever you get your tunes. And guys just announced a big show at the Thunderbird, correct?
We'll be headlining Thunderbird September 1st with a wonderful lineup of people.
Details at WYEP.org. This is Ames Harding and the Mirage. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you.